The first time the alien girl screamed, every light in the holding chamber shattered at once. Glass rained like frozen tears, alarms shrieked, and the gravity flickered just long enough for Marcus Hale to feel weightless, like the universe itself had flinched. He stood frozen outside the containment field, heart pounding, knowing with a sick certainty that whatever was locked inside that room was terrified beyond reason. And terrified things were the most dangerous of all. They had told him she was a weapon. They had told her he was a monster. Neither of them knew how wrong that was. But that was only the beginning. The girl crouched in the far corner of the chamber, knees pulled to her chest, translucent skin shimmering with bioluminescent veins. She couldn't have been more than 4 feet tall. Her eyes, too large, too luminous, tracked every movement Marcus made with prey-like panic. When she saw his reflection in the fractured glass, she recoiled violently. "No," she whispered in broken galactic standard. "Not another human. Please. Not another." The words hit harder than any weapon. Marcus was 47, his hair gone gray far earlier than he liked to admit, his spine stiff from decades of orbital labor and quiet regrets. He was no soldier, no interrogator, just a systems engineer reassigned to a deep space research station that no one talked about unless they had to. Station Erebos, where secrets went to disappear. What I saw next changed everything. The scientist behind the observation glass urged him forward. "She responds to calm vocal patterns," Dr. Kessrin said, her voice tight with impatience. "You're here because she reacts less violently to males above 40. We don't know why." Marcus knew why. She thought he was weak, or safe, or easier to kill. But as he stepped closer, palms open, boots crunching over broken glass, he saw something else in her posture, something achingly familiar. She wasn't preparing to attack. She was bracing for pain. "Hey," he said softly, his voice echoing in the ruined chamber. "I'm not here to hurt you." Her pupils dilated. Her bioluminescence flickered erratically. "That's what the others said," she whispered. "Before they cut me." The word cut hung in the air like a blade. None of us were prepared for the truth. Her name, they learned slowly, was Illyra. She was not a soldier. Not a weapon. Not even an adult by her species standards. She was a conduit. A rare neural symbiote capable of interfacing directly with quantum substrates. Living keys to technologies older than humanity itself. Her people, the Aeralin, had hidden her existence for generations. Until humans found her. Until Earth, desperate and fractured after the collapse wars, decided that survival justified anything. Marcus learned all this in fragments, pieced together from hushed conversations and classified files he wasn't supposed to access. Every revelation tightened the knot in his chest. They hadn't brought Illyra here to study her. They brought her here to break her. And now she thought he was next. But that was only the beginning. Every time Marcus entered the chamber, Illyra flinched. Every time he raised his voice, even slightly, her body sparked with defensive energy that warped the air. The first week she didn't eat. The second she spoke only in whispers. The third she asked the question that shattered him. "Will it hurt very long this time?" Marcus sat down on the floor, ignoring the alarms that protested unauthorized behavior. He stayed where he was, far enough not to threaten, close enough not to abandon. "No," he said, voice breaking despite himself, "because I won't let it." She stared at him like he'd spoken nonsense. Humans always let it happen. The midpoint came without warning. 43 days after first contact, the station lost power. Artificial gravity collapsed. Emergency lights bathed the corridors in red. Somewhere deep in Erebos, containment fields failed one by one. Marcus ran. He knew where the breach would matter most. When he reached Illyra's chamber, the field was gone. She stood in the open, energy crackling violently around her small frame, eyes glowing white-hot with fear. The scientist shouted from behind sealed doors, demanding Marcus retreat. "She's destabilizing," someone screamed. "If she releases, the station won't survive." Marcus saw the truth in her expression. She wasn't trying to escape. She was about to die. And she knew it. What I saw next changed everything. He stepped forward. Past the warning lines. Past the screams in his comm, past the fear screaming in his own mind. "Illyra," he said gently. "Look at me." Her gaze snapped to his. I'm staying, he continued. Even if it kills me. For the first time since they'd met, she hesitated. You won't run. No. Even if I break you? He swallowed. Especially then. The energy around her faltered. The station shook. And then impossibly, she reached out and touched his hand. Pain exploded through his nervous system. Visions of alien skies, burning cities, children torn apart by machines. Marcus screamed, but he didn't pull away. Neither did she. And in that shared agony, something ancient and forbidden awakened. The truth unfolded in a rush. Illyra wasn't dangerous because she was powerful. She was dangerous because she was bonded. Her species evolved to survive extinction-level threats by linking emotionally with others, sharing trauma, distributing pain. Humans had mistaken that bond for a weapon interface. Every experiment, every cut, she had been absorbing their cruelty, and now it was killing her. Unless someone shared the burden, unless someone stayed, none of us were prepared for the truth. The aftermath was quiet. Too quiet. The station stabilized. The alarms faded. Marcus lay unconscious for 3 days, neural pathways permanently altered by the contact. When he woke, Illyra was there, sitting beside his bed. Not restrained. Not afraid. You stayed, she said softly. He smiled weakly. Told you I would. Her bioluminescence glowed warm for the first time. The council arrived within hours. Orders were given. Protocols rewritten. Erebos was shut down. Illyra was classified as a protected sentient. And Marcus Hale, middle-aged, unremarkable, broken, was declared essential to first contact diplomacy with the Aeralin. But that wasn't the real ending. Because endings like beginnings can lie. Years later, on a green world orbiting a binary sun, Marcus watched Illyra stand before her people. She was taller now. Stronger. Her eyes still luminous but no longer afraid. You changed my fate, she told him quietly. You chose pain instead of power. He shrugged. Seemed like the right thing to do. She smiled, a gesture she'd learned from him. My people will remember this, she said. They will remember the human who stayed. As her ship lifted into the sky, Marcus felt the bond between them hum, gentle now, balanced. For the first time in his life he felt whole. And somewhere in the vast, uncaring universe, a single act of kindness rewrote the future of two species. Because sometimes the most powerful force in the galaxy isn't fear. It's the human who refuses to walk away.